All right, ready to dive in. This time, we're tackling the Hunter exam. I mean, we've all seen Gon taking that first step towards the exam, right? Eyes full of excitement. But here's the thing. Only 1 in 10,000 even make it to the starting line.
It's brutal.
Seriously.
And it's fascinating how this issue throws you a curveball right away.
Oh, yeah.
You'd think intense training montages, yeah. But no, we're in a restaurant. Seems totally ordinary.
But it's not, is it?
Not even close.
Who expects a steak dinner to be a life or death decision?
Right.
And don't forget that conversation they have about why they even want to be hunters in the first place.
Oh, absolutely crucial.
Kurapika, driven by justice, protecting others.
Right.
Leorio, well, he's after financial security. Status, which, honestly, who isn't?
Right.
And then there's Gon, pure curiosity, following in his dad's footsteps.
Is being a hunter about, like, personal gain, or upholding some code, or something else entirely? It's a question that just keeps coming back as the exam goes on.
Doesn't it, though?
But for now, they're moving from that restaurant, all casual and deceptive, right into room B100. And the intensity ramps up like crazy.
Talk about a shift in atmosphere. Gone is the casual restaurant. Now it's this dimly lit, cramped space, practically buzzing with all these intimidating people. It's almost claustrophobic, wouldn't you say?
Totally. Feels like the air itself is thick with anticipation, competition, maybe a good dose of fear, even. That narrow corridor, the darkness.
All very deliberate, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's visual storytelling at its finest. The exam is closing in. Literally and figuratively.
And just when you think things can't get weirder,
Yeah.
we meet Tampa, self-proclaimed veteran. 35 times he's taken this exam.
35.
And failed every single one. You'd think he'd be a little less cheerful about it.
Right. Major red flag, if you ask me. That's when the deception gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Tampa's not there to make friends. It's psychological sabotage, plain and simple. Think about it. Who's more dangerous than the guy you think is on your side?
You've got a point there. He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, with those warnings about people going insane or getting hurt.
Totally.
Planting seeds of doubt, hoping they'll crack before the real challenges even start.
Exactly. But don't get me wrong, Tampa may be manipulative, but he's not dumb. He knows who to watch. And that's when he points out some of the other applicants. We got Toto, the wrestler, crazy strong, but surprisingly smart. The Amori brothers, masters of those coordinated attacks. And Jaretta, expert beast catcher. Bow and arrow, the whole deal.
It's like a crash course in people you really don't want to mess with.
Right. The stakes are high. You've got all these skills, all this experience, all going after the same prize. What would your go-to skill be in that kind of pressure cooker?
Honestly, I try to blend in, disappear into the background, and hope for the best. But speaking of people who definitely don't blend in, did you notice a certain unsettling magician hanging around in the shadows?
Oh, you can't talk about the Hunter exam without talking about Hisoka, right? He's basically a human storm cloud. You know something bad's coming, just no clue when or how.
And what makes him even more unnerving is that he practically aced the last exam.
Almost aced it, yeah.
But got disqualified for nearly killing an examiner.
The guy's got skills, no doubt. But he also doesn't care much for rules, and he's got this thirst, let's call it.
For pushing boundaries.
Exactly.
All fun and games until someone pulls out playing cards as weapons, am I right? But those shadows in the art, that creepy smile. The creators wanted us to be wary of him right from the start.
For sure.
But going back to our main group, it's not all doom and gloom. Especially not with Gon around. Remember when Tampa tries to slip them those laxatives?
Oh, man, classic Tampa.
And of course, he totally underestimated Gon and that superhuman sense of taste.
Yeah.
It's like a superpower.
And it highlights a crucial lesson for anyone hoping to survive this thing. Vigilance is key. Let your guard down for a second.
And it could cost you everything.
Exactly.
Speaking of Tampa, it makes you feel safe, then bam, uses your weaknesses against you.
Exactly. He may not have the raw power of a Hisoka, but he gets it. The mind, just as vulnerable as the body, maybe more so. He's playing a different game. Doubt. Fear. That human need to connect with someone.
Makes you wonder, in that kind of an environment where deception is everywhere, what's the best way to play it?
Right.
Do you try to blend in or go big, bold strategy?
That's the million-dollar question right there. And I think that's the point of the exam. No right answer, no guaranteed win. It's about reading the situation, adapting, and most importantly, trusting your gut.
Which brings us to Gon. He seems the least bothered by all of this. In fact, he's practically buzzing with excitement.
I know, right?
Like it's some grand adventure, not this super high-stakes thing where people could actually die.
It's what makes him such a fascinating main character. That optimism, it's almost childlike. And it feels so out of place in this ruthless setting.
It does.
But don't mistake that for naivete. This is the same kid who sniffed out Tampa's little scheme.
Right, like he's got this built-in danger detector, fine-tuned to anything off, and that's got to be what helps him handle all the deception. He sees things with fresh eyes, picks up on what others miss.
Exactly. Open-minded, embraces the unexpected. And that is going to be huge as the exam goes on, because if there's one thing we know about the Hunter exam, it never goes according to plan.
And speaking of unexpected, did you notice how much they emphasize how different all the applicants are?
Oh, yeah.
It's like they grab people from every corner of the world, every walk of life. Why do you think that is? To make everyone feel out of their element.
It underscores the idea that there's no one way to be a hunter. They don't want carbon copies. They're looking for unique skills, different perspectives, and the ability to adapt to absolutely anything.
Which begs the question, what kind of challenges can they even throw at them to test all that?
See, that's the beauty of it. The Hunter exam keeps you guessing. Can't rely on just one strength, one strategy. Gotta be adaptable, resourceful, and yeah, maybe a little lucky.
So we leave Gon and his friends, ready to face the unknown. But one thing's for sure, this is just the beginning, their real journey, the one that'll push them to their limits, make them face the world. Well, that's a deep dive for another time.
Until then, stay curious out there, stay sharp, and never underestimate a good deception or a really good sense of taste.